Wow, great viewers out there. It's time for Sportsville. My name is George Aluo. We're set to roll again, and it will be an interesting package today. I must tell you, don't forget that we're already counting down to the Yuletide, and everybody is already in Christmas mood. But while preparing for Christmas, we're still talking sports. So much is happening in the field of sports. Here, women's football has started. I must tell you, kudos to Aisha Falode, the one we call Mama Sports. We'll take a look at that, but that will be much, much later when Oluchi Tobechukwu, the baby of the house, will be joining us. But for now, we start with the two Tonys, one home-based and another foreign-based. And don't forget that my producer, Tayo Gusheye, will always give you shots of the week. After that, then I'll rotate proper. Don't go away. It is Sportsville. My name is George Alo. Alright, welcome back. If you just joined us, you've not really missed much, but let me say kudos to my producer for those shots of the week. And on that note, let me welcome home-based Tony Wokoba Yagazie Obade. Tony, you're welcome to Sportsville.
Thank you so much, George.
I know why I'm calling you a home-based today.
Absolutely. I think that the fans themselves are going to see the reason behind me being home-based. And indeed, you are correct, because when there is another Anthony who is based abroad, who has done wonderfully well for Nigeria, representing the green, white, green colors of Nigeria. And here I am in the studios of Lagos, in channels here, absolutely.
Playing Nigeria Professional Football League.
No, I am not. I'm not an MPFL player. Because you cannot say that I'm an MPFL player, because as it is only in Nigeria, the males are the ones who are taking the back seat. Aisha Falode has shown that what a man can do, a woman can do better. The Nigerian Women Football League, they have started.
Exactly.
The men are still resting.
Exactly. Okay, the Women's League have started. I must tell you, like I said when I started the program, kudos to Aisha Falode and co. Much, much later, baby of the house, Oluchi Tobechukwu, will be joining us. But for now, she's standing by here in the studio. But let me introduce the foreign-based Tony. This is one of our products. Talk about Tony Adeyemi. Isaiah. He has been doing very well for Nigerian football. He is a coach. He is coaching in Switzerland at the moment. And this is a terrain where not too many of us are doing well, but he is doing well as a coach out there in Switzerland with FC Gusau. Let me welcome Tony to Sportsville. Tony, you're welcome to Sportsville.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, sir.
So how is it like out there in Switzerland?
In Switzerland, I must comment, it's a place whereby, for me, I feel at home in Switzerland, but I feel more home when I come back to Nigeria.
When you come back to Nigeria.
Yeah.
Okay, you feel definitely east or west, home is the best. And you saw that racism that took place that stopped the Paris Germain Istanbul game.
Yeah, I saw it. That is one of those things you have to face when you are in a foreign country. So you have to be used to it.
Okay, when you are in foreign country.
You have to be here.
I hope you are an expatriate there, because when foreigners are working here, they are expatriates. And when Nigerians are working outside, they say they are refugees. Tony, how do you reconcile that? But I know that this Tony is not a refugee anyway. He is a professional.
Because I think he is not a refugee. As in, the whole thing about racism for me on that day, it's sour note. That's the way I say it. It's a sour note that it really hits, because depending on where you are, that's where you view what happened. If it was a racist comment, John Barnes has come out to explain. Somebody who is in the forefront, in the vanguard of racism, fighting racism, coming out to say the referee's intention, it was not intended as a racist slur. It was not. Okay. As in the midst, when you are in the midst of about 4 or 3 white people, and there was only one black person, the tendency for you, when there was an introduction, somebody was asking, for you to say, no, he's a black guy. That was exactly.
So no racist intention.
There was no, to me, and from the explanations that I learned,
okay.
I think it was not intended racist comments.
Okay, we just hope that you see that there is fight at FIFA level, at every level, to say there is no room for racism, and that is why before EPL kicks off, they always take a kneel. There is really no room for racism in sports. No form of discrimination whatsoever. Okay, let me now come to Tony Adeyemi. You've been coaching in Switzerland at the moment, and come to look at it, not too many Nigerians, except the likes of Emenalo, who has done well with Chelsea. What is actually the challenge that you play good football in Europe? Most of our players have played fantastic football in Europe. They've gotten to the top level of their career, but they don't veer into coaching and equally excel at that level.
First of all, what I think is something of a choice when you have interest to do something.
Okay.
But when you are living in Europe, the challenges as a coach is not something that you think is an easy task. There's a lot of things you're going to face. Because first of all, like I said earlier in my past interview, I'm living in a country that speaks German.
Okay.
So if you don't understand the language and you cannot write the language, it will be very difficult for you to partake for the exam, for you to get your training budget. So, but when you can be able to speak the language very good and you can write it, then you can be able to go to coaching course.
Well, somebody like Marcelo Bielsa does not speak English at the moment, and he is coaching and leading Leeds very well.
The thing is,
so when it comes to coaching, is language really a barrier?
That's why I say it depends on the country you are.
Okay.
If you are in England and you speak English,
it's easier.
It's easier. For example, let me say the Europeans, they have more advantage because if you are in Central Europe, the language is your country, you can do your UEFA license.
Okay.
So when you have that UEFA license, you can go to any part of the Europe country to train. It's not going to be a problem for you even if you don't speak the language, as long as the team likes you. But if you talk about Nigerians, you are living in Nigeria, you are coming to Switzerland. You have to speak the language. The license you are holding cannot even allow you to coach a club there because they want you to upgrade it. Mm-hmm. So if you cannot upgrade that license, you have no chance to coach.
FC Gosa is in what division at the moment?
We are playing regional league.
Okay, regional league.
Yeah.
And what is it like? What are the challenges and all that?
Yeah, for me, I don't have any challenge because I have done so well in coaching job because this is my 11 years. This new year will be 12 years as a coach. So when I started, I can say that is a challenge because I don't speak so good in the language.
Okay.
And it's something you're doing new, you know. So you have a fear. How is it going to be? Is it going to work or is it not going to work? But along the process, after the first year, when I did well, that's given me more motivation to go further. So since then, I've been into the coaching job. There is no season I have not coached. And to God be the glory. I always say this anywhere I go. If you are looking for any Nigerians or any African coaches, let me say Nigeria in abroad, that I've coached like the level I've coached, under 14, under 16, under 17, under 23. Now I'm coaching the senior league. That has won the league the way I won it. Then I can say the coach is better than me in junior league. But I never see.
So what is the ambition of this team, FC Gosau, at the moment? What are the chances of their coming all the way to play at the top level in Switzerland?
There is a lot of. One thing is, for me, I don't know how long I'm going to be there.
Because we've seen a team like FC Leipzig coming in less than a decade to play at the top of a German Bundesliga and even getting to the semi-final of the UEFA Champions League.
They have chance to do that, but another thing is, it depends on the coach that is there. For me now, I just signed my 2 years contract.
Okay. And
there is possibility I can leave there at any time when I get a good offer for other club. Yeah. So now, if a good coach leave and come to another coach come in, then it's difficult for the other coach to do what the other one has done. For example, now let me give an example. When I came to the club was always in 8th position, 9th position. Now we are in the half season now. When I can show you, you can go to the internet, you can see that the table there, I'm in the 2nd position.
Yeah, my producer is giving you the table there of the team.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now we are in 2nd position. We are in the 1st position, but the last game we played draw, and the other opponent that's in the 1st position, they won. So we are 2 points behind them. Okay. And that has never happened to that team before. Always they're in 7th position, 8th position, 9th position, almost relegation.
Wow.
So there's a tendency that this season when we come to the next second round of the league. When we can beat the team in the first position, that means I'll win the league.
Okay, Tony, I guess you are itching to come in here and share your thoughts with.
It's quite interesting. First, I think our viewers must know, that this guy before he left, played for one of, the main clubs in Nigeria. Talk about superstars, Flaming, the Adeyemi babes, Israelites. That's exactly the passion people had with stationery stores. And here he is, a young man who has gone abroad, representing Nigeria well, coaching at that very top level. Tony, do you have any feeling? Sometimes do you monitor Nigerian football, and do you sometimes feel the urge maybe to come back, either to contribute to Nigerian destiny? If there is that opportunity, is it something that you can do?
For me, 100%. That's one of those things that's in my mind, at the back of my mind. Nigeria is my father's home, my father's land. For me, I'm hoping day in, day out, whenever they call me, I'm ready to come to and serve my father's land. So it is always in my when Nigeria is playing, I always focus and watch what they do, what is happening, why is this coach there, what is doing that I cannot do. So I challenge myself whenever I see Nigeria playing. So okay, if I have the time or the chance to take the national team or any level in the national team, 100% I'm going to give the best, because people over there are profiting from me. Why not my country, Nigeria?
Okay, the way it is now, would you advocate that we'll have our indigenous coach in charge of the Super Eagles?
Yeah, if we have someone who is able to give us what we want, because when we look at the past record, Nigerian coaches have done better than the foreign coaches. Like look at Kechi, late Kechi, may so rest in peace. Amen. You saw the way he won the Nations Cup and even bring us to the World Cup in a good position. So we have seen Ahmad has done his own too. So if Nigeria have somebody they trust, I think it's better, because for me, I'm not trying to criticize the white man. He has done what he can do, but I think Nigerian coaches, they can be able to do better.
Okay, the era when our players were doing very well in Europe, playing for top clubs and all that, is gone. These days, we see them not really playing in the big. Look at the EPL, for instance. The biggest player we have now is maybe Ndidi, playing for Leicester. We don't have a player in Manchester United. We don't have a player in Liverpool. We don't have a player in Chelsea. What do you think is the challenge?
Most times, most of us now, the new players that are playing now, what they look for is their future, just to become somebody in life. They are not challenging themselves. When they are somewhere, they think that's over.
They are comfortable.
They are not ready to challenge. It takes only the few that want to go more higher. So when you have this type of mindset, definitely, when you are getting something you needed, you don't think about what is coming. You just wait. Okay, let me sit on what I have. I'm okay
with this big signing and all that.
That is what is killing Nigerian players at the moment.
Look at, there's no Nigerian player in Barcelona. There's no Nigerian player in Bayern. But those days, the likes of Kanu Nwankwo, the likes of Daniel Amokachi, they were playing in the big leagues.
Just, but I think there is so much meaning from what he said. If you put it into real perspective, this perspective of the economy, says that Nigerian players don't want to leave their comfort zone. And that comfort zone has to do with the economy. It has to do with the exchange rate of the naira and the dollar. If you, for instance, now, George, with what you are doing on this set,
you are swimming in
find
cash.
A place now, and maybe they say, okay, let's be paying George £15,000 per week. You run mad.
And then I will not put in my best any longer. But Tony, that should be a bigger. That should propel me to do better. But why is it not propelling our players to do better?
Because of where you are coming from. That you could just leave you £15,000 a week. If you die in Nigeria here, £15,000, I don't think they will pay you £15,000. It's better for you to remain there. But then I think it's equally important that there should be challenges. Except until you die, you must always be ready to face challenges. And that's what some of our players, from what he has said, that's what I deduce. That people don't want to leave their comfort zone. Okay,
Tony, how do we make our league better? What would be your advice? You played for stationary stores and look at the league today. Can you compare what it was when you were playing for Flaming and what it is today?
Like what I said, when we are playing, we sometimes our parents don't even allow to go and play football. We find our way out to go and play. And at the same time, at the end of the day, we make it to the top. Now this generation, they have all what it takes. The parents encourage them to go and play football. And when you are playing football, most of them think that is the end of the road. So they don't look like what I said before. They don't have that. I always say 5D. First of all, you have to be determined.
Okay.
Determination. You have to be disciplined. You have to have that your do and don't. You have to stand on that do and don't. This thing I want to do it, and I have to do it. So then you go down to the I've said discipline. Then you come to the determination, discipline, the do and don't. Then you come to your drive and also your dedication. Because when you dedicate your time, your mind to something, that means that's where your focus will be. You want to make sure you do the thing on the best way. So most time that is one thing that we lack. In our own time, most of the players are dedicated. That's why you see the lack of
high level of
level. That's why you see that in our league was so competitive.
Exactly.
But at the moment now, the league is not competitive. You know who is going to win the league before the league comes to an end. Yeah, it is so. Imba dominate now for the past how many years? But when we were playing, you see stationary stores want to win the league. You see Rangers is fighting for the league. Rangers, and when Rangers is playing against a beggar in Lagos here,
it's a full house.
It's a full house. All these challenges is no more there. So that's just the problem they are facing.
All right, it's a lot of challenge. We must tell you that Tony Adeyemi Isaiah won the league in 1998. The FA Cup actually in 1998 with stationary stores. Those days when you come to the Nika waterfront, by 2 o'clock the stadium is already filled, and then the white handkerchief. All flaming. I hope that flaming spirit is still in you at the moment.
That's what led me to where I am today.
All right, that is what led him to where he is. I must tell you that this Tony, the one that is foreign based, my own Tony Ubane today is home based. He is doing very well for the.
We have the same D principle: discipline, determination, and drive, dedication.
I don't know about that. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll go to part 2 of the show, and the baby of the house, Oluchi Tobex will be joining us. Don't go away. It's still Sports View.
Hi everyone, my name is Sunday Yunana Capson. I'm a volleyball player. I want to take this time out to wish all our volleyball fans a happy festive period.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and let's not forget the reason for this season.
I want to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. I love you all.
We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
All right, welcome to part 2 of the show now, where we are now being joined by baby of the house, Oluchi Tobex Tobechukwu. We'll be talking about the Nigerian Women Football League that started last Wednesday in Nasarawa. It was a fantastic opener. Let me start by welcoming Oluchi to the show. Oluchi, welcome to Sports View.
Thank you so much, George. It's a pleasure to be here.
How was Nasarawa?
Nasarawa was fine. It was the matches were simultaneous in 7 centers,
exactly.
But Nasarawa was a star
the opener,
match,
exactly.
And that was why a lot of attention was given in Nasarawa. And thankfully, Osahan, being in charge of FC Robo, made sure that Lagosians had cause to smile with an upset over Nasarawa Amazons and Korungu, who happens to be the coach of the under-20 national team.
All right, you can see that my producer is giving you the result of week 1 of the Nigeria Women Football League. Confluence Queens getting Rivers Angels getting a draw 1-1 against Confluence Queens, and then Robo Queens, they were very good against Nasarawa Amazons. That was an away win, so the first away victory. But the big one where there was gold rain was Delta Queens beating Dream Stars by 4-1. Tony, I think it was a good start on the whole.
Yeah, it was, George, and I think I'm so much excited, George, that what the men cannot do, that the women are showing us the way. It's just like somebody showing you, showing the light and you're finding your way. And I hope the male league can as well draw.
I hope Oluchi has not settled you with all this.
No, George, it's not about Oluchi. It's about George. It's about our league. It's about what we have failed to do.
Yes.
What somebody, within the system is also doing. As in Aisha has already shown the way. Yeah, she has shown the light.
Mama Sports.
And we are playing football, and there is social distancing, and they are complying with all the protocols. George, why is it that the male teams, look at our continental teams? How many teams do we have in the continent again? Just the players are rusty. The players cannot do anything. The Nigerian league is going down. Look at the Super Eagles. If you talk about the FIFA ranking, look at the FIBA ranking in basketball. Look at the FIFA ranking in women football. Talk about the Super Falcons. Look about table tennis. Nigerians are doing well in that place, but for the male team, the Super Eagles, they are going down. Just something is wrong with us, and we must rise up. And correct this thing. If not, God will adopt the women to begin to play football for Nigeria.
Okay, CAF has introduced even continental football for women. So I hope our teams will do well, Oluchi.
George, I don't know why a lot of people, I know it is quite unavoidable, they keep on juxtaposing MPFL and the NWFL. But for me, my focus is on the women's team, the women's league. They are doing well. Aisha Falode-led board, they are raising the bar, and she's trying to be consistent in what she has been doing. And for the CAF Champions League is the maiden edition, like you mentioned, and that was why the female club owners all decided that they were going to do away with their bridge league and focus on a straight league. This is the first time we'll be having a straight league since Aisha Falode came on board, and she endorsed it because she saw reasons with them. We're going to have robust league, competitive, more matches, for the girls to play and toughen them, for the maiden edition of the CAF Champions League.
I hope all this will lead to the women's league getting sponsorship, because as it is now, there is no sponsors for the NWFL.
Yeah, the challenge has been that what product are you selling, and that has been the focus for Aisha Falode. We have a rebranded league. It's just not rebranded in terms of name, it's rebranded in terms of the quality we are offering. We are dovetailing into a sense of professionalism, and that was why we brought in the regulation indices. Players' welfare, their salaries must be secured, they must be insured, and every other things have been put in place.
Aisha has raised the bar now. I think it is now time for the corporate world to give her all the necessary backing, so that at the end of the day, those who win the NWFL should be able to smile to the bank with money and all that. It shouldn't just be a league where you don't have a sponsorship.
Yeah, but I think the sponsors are even watching. They are seeing what is happening. They are seeing that the women are taking the lead. And of course, they are seeing quality football. And if not for the COVID protocols and all those things, so many Nigerians are enthusiastic in coming out in numbers, to watch and appreciate them. I, for one, George, I am so moved by the passion of women football, and for, the novels that Aisha Falode board has brought into this. And I think that's exactly, any sponsor that puts his money into women football will definitely reap boundless joys.
One other big challenge, Oluchi, has been the issue of officiating. We've seen that in the first game, Osun Babes defeated Ibom Angels at home. 2 away wins.
We had 2 away wins.
And then a draw in Conference Queens against Rivers Angels. So you can see that officiating definitely was good in the opener. I hope it will continue.
Yes, the referees body, the president Ade has said that he has given his word. He's doing everything possible to make sure that officiating is transparent, and you will see that nobody complained about officiating. Conference Queens, they saw the result 1-1. They were okay with it. The 2 away wins, the home teams didn't have anything to complain about. And let me just quickly delve into what Tony just reiterated earlier. I will not want to push under the carpet the personal effort of Aisha Falode. For all the Super 4 that has been played in the past, the teams that won, with her networking with the governors that hosted each Super 4, they were given something and appreciated financially. they took care of their accommodation and their transportation, the 4 teams. And for the first time in a while, teams were able to go home with both the trophy and something to show their various sponsors.
Our ladies are doing very well. We want corporate bodies to get involved in this and support them. At least there is no rancor, there is no division, there is no crisis. So corporate bodies place queue behind the NWFL. We want to see our women's league grow. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll be rounding up the show. I hope you're enjoying Sportsview.
Audio Jungle.
All right, welcome back. We're coasting home now, but before leaving the studio, let's tell you that sadly, very, very sadly, more of our legends are leaving us. Talk about Paolo Rossi, the man that played for Italy at the 1982 World Cup, and the Argentine former coach Sabella, who coached Argentina at the 2014 World Cup. They all have departed alongside Diego Maradona. Very painful indeed. And then talk about Nigerian clubs in the continent. 2 of them have already crashed out. Tony, right from the very first round. Kano Pillars couldn't even go beyond round 1, just like Plateau United. Sad indeed. They left like the legend.
It's a terrible thing, but you're trying to, just make it light.
Comic relief.
I think it's a warning signal of delaying our league. There are no 2 ways about it, George. Players are rusty. Friendly matches cannot be compared.
Pre-season games.
Pre-season games. George, there's absolutely, people have been away for how many months, and then they are not playing. And when you do some training and you think you will come to compete with somebody who has been, playing regularly, it is time that I do not know what is holding the league. The Nigerian Women Football League, they have shown us the way. So it's not as if we can't start the league. What is stopping us, George?
Okay, I just hope that the MPFL will start, because come to look at it, even Enyimba themselves and Rivers United that they went through just by the whiskers. You can imagine Rivers United going into penalties before they survived the team from Panya. That is what my people call Equatorial Guinea. I mean, if we can't beat a team from Panya, then that shows you the level of our league. Well, that's it. Gospel truth we must be told here on Sportsville. I hope you have enjoyed us this week. We'll see you next week, and we'll pray that we'll have a wonderful Christmas. That's the show. Bye bye and God bless.